and Gaining Vision, I'm Melanie. Thanks so much for clicking. To my returning family, the Visionaries, thank you for the continuous love and support. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please feel at home. Have you had an opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. I've been watching what's happening in South Africa, and I was curious. I hadn't heard much about the case of the Eastern Cape with Julius Malema, how things turned out in court. At the beginning, we had heard how he was frustrated with the magistrate always being late showing up, and how the case had taken 5 years. Well, I came across a couple of videos that I wanted to share with you, because once again, Julius Malema has proven that he is staying steadfast, staying true to who he is, and making sure that people know how he feels. He's not afraid of pulling any punches. He speaks his truth. In the first one, it was after the last court date. He went out and spoke to EFF supporters that were there at a rally, and he shared what had happened in the court. He talked about his frustrations, about the incompetence of the magistrate. He wasn't afraid of saying his truth about this magistrate, how incompetent she was, and how she was always late and unprepared. This frustrated him because he had been kept for 5 years in this court case.
Today, after 5 years of being accused of having discharged a firearm, the state has kept me here for the past 5 years because they can't defeat my political ideas. They want to use the courts and abuse the state power and the security forces to suppress my voice. And they will never win against me. For because I'm not scared of prison. When you are a revolutionary, prison is your nickname. Because when you join the revolution, there are two things that will happen. You either attain what you stand for, or you'll be killed for what you stand for. Not prison can stop me from executing that which I stand for. No racist magistrate can stop me from executing that which I stand for. No small boy of a prosecutor can persecute me and jail me for what I stand for. For because I'm not scared of a magistrate, I'm not scared of a prosecutor, I'm not scared of a judge, I'm not scared of a president, I'm not scared of capitalism, I'm not scared of white monopoly capital, I'm not scared of anyone. I want all of them combined. The day of victory shall come. Because that day you are destined for. And when you are destined for victory, no one can stop you from making it to that day of victory. So fighters, we must never be shaken by persecution of our leadership, not only in the courts, but in the media, through journalists that are part of the establishment. We must not be scared of those who are using state institutions like SARS, like the Hawks, like the police to try and suppress a dissent. Comrades, when we joined and took the position to go against the ANC, we all knew that this is part of the price we'll have to pay. So when it happens to us, we are not shocked. We are always ready for that day. And when that day comes, we know that day has arrived. The enemy has decided to persecute us. We have postponed the case to July because we did not agree that we must hold the case before elections. Because they want to hold us here while they are busy campaigning outside. So we said to them, we are not coming back here until after the elections. We will come back here and to sit and listen to that incompetent magistrate who comes late to court, who can't get her papers in order, who can't read her own judgments, who adjourns the court during judgment to go back seat and receive Pravin Gordhan's call, and receive Ramaphosa's call, and receive Batoi's call. When she comes back to give a judgment, she's shaking like hell because it's not a judgment, it's a sponsored judgment. Where have you ever had such a thing? that a magistrate lives in the middle of a judgment to go behind the court. And when she comes back, she's shaking like a little girl being asked in grade 1 to give an English presentation in front of her classmates. I know the lawyers will say, why does he speak about the magistrate like that? I don't care about her feelings. I care about the law. What does the law say? Not what the magistrate feels. Comrades, a magistrate comes to court that was postponed for so many days with papers that are all over. She can't read her own notes. Her judgment is so disorganized. Then what is even worse, there must be a separation of powers between a magistrate and the police. When she comes into court, she says to a police officer, go and fetch judgment. I forgot it in the office. The magistrate must be the only person who sees the judgment. The judgment must sit here on the magistrate. She leaves a judgment in the office. A police officer sees the judgment because the magistrate said, go and fetch my judgment. What type of incompetence is this? What type of nonsense is this that was subjected to for the past 5 years of an incompetent white magistrate? If it was a black magistrate, these people would have written about her that she's disorganized, she doesn't know how to read, she doesn't know how to write. Because it's a white magistrate, they don't say she's incompetent. She is incompetent. When she delivers a judgment, you can see that she's not sure, she's not convinced, it's not her own conviction. I don't care about my judgment. I care about the judgment of accused number 2. She amends the charge sheet from the box, from the bench, because the accused number 2 is charged for handing over a firearm to me. The statements were about him handing over the firearm to me. Everybody said when they were playing a video, we can't see him handing over a firearm. Today, the magistrate says, no, that is not the charge. The charge is supply and brought thing like that. We don't know as we stand here what is the actual charge of accused number 2. And then we must keep quiet to nurse a feeling of a white woman. We don't care about feelings of anyone. We care about what does the law say. I said this knowing very well that on the 15th of July, I'm going to appear before her. I'm not saying this here. I will say it to her. Because I'm not scared of her. I will tell her, you are not applying the law. The reason why you did not discharge accused number 2, you were scared of releasing a white man and leaving a black man in the dock. What type of law is that? The guy must continue to be charged, because if he's released, it will look like we're persecuting a black man. You are persecuting me, whether you release Adrian or not. The reality is that you are looking for me. You don't want Adrian. You have nothing against Adrian. Release my white man and face me alone. I don't need anyone. I can stand up to all of you alone. I don't want people to die for my sins. I die for my own sins. I will never start that which I will never finish. Everything I start, I finish it. So, comrades, that's what we're dealing with, and we'll deal with that after elections.
As he shared, he knew that perhaps his lawyers wouldn't be pleased, but he didn't care. He said he's not afraid of going to jail. He's not afraid of speaking his truth. He wasn't there to make sure the Majesty felt good. He talked about how in the middle of her verdict or decision, she actually was unprepared. She got up and left. And then she also came back and said that she forgot the verdict or decision in the back. She had a police officer go and collect the judgment, and That's unheard of. Nobody should see the judgment other than the magistrate, especially before anyone was to hear. Julius Malema spoke about his frustrations and talked about how he is tired of the law not being abided by and that it's not right. He was passionate, he was firm, confident, and clear exactly on how he was feeling. And again, he didn't hold back any punches. He spoke his truth. And then, of course, you know that people were saying things after that was said. And he was asked that he should apologize.
You know, in the Judicial Service Commission, I'm not sent by Parliament or I'm not sent by journalists. I'm sent by the people, these people. They elect me as a member of Parliament, then they say go and sit in the Judicial Service Commission. Whether you like me or not, as long as EFF has got a seat in Parliament, I will be a member of the Judicial Service Commission and I will question these incompetent judges, I will question incompetent magistrates. All of you go and watch that video of a magistrate when she was delivering the judgment of 174 and tell me also if it was a black woman, what was going to happen to her. Now that I've criticized a white judge, a white magistrate, incompetent magistrate who walks into a courtroom without a judgment and then calls a police officer, go to my office and fetch my judgment, is on the table. When you are a magistrate, a judgment has to be here and it must only be seen by you, and then the rest of us will hear it when you read it out. A policeman saw my judgment before I could hear about it. As if that is not enough, as she was reading through, she says, they forgot 2 pages at the back. Let me go and fetch them. Is that professionalism? Is that competency? Is that you, South Africans, asking us to tolerate that nonsense? In the EFF, we don't tolerate incompetence. Both of our members and of public services. Judges are not the constitution. Magistrate is not a constitution. Her too is a subject of the constitution. She must respect the constitution. And I don't care about her feelings. I care about what does the law say, not what does the magistrate feel. So I have no responsibility to nurse her feelings. She made a terrible mistake. She dismissed 174. I'm going to take a stand there. You must see what's going to happen. I'm not saying those things outside. I'm going to tell her on her face. I will not be scared that no, I must be nice because I'm scared to go to prison. No. I will tell her how wrong she was. For 5 years we've been in that court. She has been coming to court very late. Not 30 minutes, 45 minutes late, right? A member of the so-called Judicial Service Commission is appearing. One day you are going to appear before this person in the JSC. And the first thing we're going to, what is your conduct in court? Because you ought to be honorable as a judge. And part of honor is to be on time. Time is the highest form of discipline. So there's nothing wrong I said about her. Nothing wrong at all. And I will not apologize. They tried me earlier with some concocted charge there in Parliament that I said things about judges. I will never stop talking about judges because we must never make judges God. They too are individuals. That's why their judgments are appealed. And on appeal, they can be reversed because they are human beings, they can make mistakes. So I don't know where the criticism comes from. It's not about me having said the correct thing. It's just a hatred of Julius Malema, and there's nothing I can do with it. The problem is that when I apply for 174, I'm saying to a judge, I don't want to take a stand there because if I take a stand there, I'm brutally honest and you may not like what I'm saying. You see, and so she invited me, I'll be taking a stand. But in July, for sure, when we go there, I'll be driving from Union Building to that place in July next year. Thank you.
He is set on his course, and I appreciate the fact he always speaks his truth. He tells the people what's happening in the court cases, despite people telling him probably not to share. But I think the transparency of this all is important for all of South Africans to see what's actually happening and the conduct of the magistrate. I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas on both of the clips I've shared with you on how Julius Malema has addressed it and how things are going in the court. Drop your comments below and let's have a conversation. Until next time, please don't forget to hit the notification button, like and share, and we'll see you later. Bye!